William, you are a GameStop owner, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And when did you start to own this thing?
a long time ago. Originally, it was a value stock at $3 or $4.
And have you been in this Wall Street Bets community for a while?
Yeah, so I've been a Reddit user since I was at school, which was, well, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years ago, like grade school.
And so you were buying freaking GameStop at $3 to $4.
Yes, originally, yeah, because there was a great due diligence done in WSB about it being an undervalued company, which is why I bought it, not because of whatever happened subsequently, originally anyway.
What percentage has it gone?
About across all of the accounts that I have in about 455%.
So you've made a lot of money on this thing. I know you don't want to say the amount, but I know the amount, and it's a lot of money. And then what I want to say is, like, are you selling any right now?
I have, as WSB calls it, I have diamond hands. So I'm not selling, not even if it goes to 500, 600, 700, 800, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. I'm not selling because it's for me and now my family, it's way more than any monetary gain.
Then what's the point? I mean, you're just saying you're just owning it as to make a point, basically.
Well, when it originally started, obviously the whole point was to make some money. That was great. But then as things picked up and more research was done on what was happening to stocks like GameStop, like AMC, SPCE, all these companies that are being overshorted, we subsequently found out naked shorted, but that we didn't know that at the time. But that to me doesn't sound like the right thing to do, to bet on what effectively is a lame horse to lose. So once I realized that was sort of happening, it started to make me realize like what's really going on here is there's big hedge funds that are effectively sending people out of jobs and profiting on it like they have done for decades and decades and decades. And the reason it's so personal for me is, well, my family kind of lived the American dream. We moved there when I was very young. My dad worked there for years and years and years. 2008 came, which hit us really hard, so much so we had to move away. And when I saw, as I've gotten older and I've seen what's happened and what played out, and those people took hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in bonuses, while people that I know had to eat and live off powdered milk and pancake mix for years, doesn't seem right. And this was in my mind, this is our opportunity to let them know that we can't be messed around anymore. We're not just going to take what they give us anymore.
I want to go a little deeper.
Okay.
I think I know a little story about you. Will you share it? When you were younger, your parents got into some financial trouble. Take me there. Put us where you were. Don't just tell the story, but just take us there and tell us that feeling and what was going on. Because I want people to really understand where you're coming from. Because I know what the reaction is going to be like. This guy's crazy. He's made this kind of money. He needs to sell some stuff. So just take us a little bit about that. And I think, because I think that'll tell a lot of where you are today.
Okay, so if like I take it all the way back, like I said, my dad took me and my mum at the time when I was a year old to America because he believed, like truly believed in the American dream. And the American dream is that you work hard enough and you can make it, right? You go there and it's the one place in the world that no matter where you're from or no matter who you are, you can make it. And he lived that dream. He literally moved to America, started working for a company, then subsequently started his own business that happened to be a restaurant. Then when the financial crisis hit, well, I mean, as everyone knows that we're in any sort of small business industry, it was so tough. People didn't have the money to spend, so they weren't coming in and buying food and coming to eat in the restaurant. Then subsequently, because of the 2008 financial crash, my dad also lost his job with the corporation he was working with, which was really tough. Like, I mean, we went from having everything and our own home and nothing to worry about to literally police knocking at the door, basically people coming to collect money that we owed. And my mom had to shield me behind her as those people came to the door. So it wasn't, like, obviously at the time I didn't really understand, but it must have been one of the worst times of my parents' life. So shortly after that, my dad had to find work, and the only place he could find it was overseas in China, funnily enough. We uprooted and we left and we moved to a foreign country again. This time I was a little bit older and I didn't really understand. We lived there until my dad could sort of get ourselves back on our feet. We moved back to America. I left home and my family, I've sort of flipped between the US and China, just trying to make their own way in the world. And really, subsequently, that all happened because of 2008. And then when I saw what was going on, and fundamentally, like, I could see the movement on WSB was, it's not about making money. It's about sticking it to the people that have In our minds, this is tribal. So you have the have and the have-nots, and the haves have been dominating the system for so many years. Have never been able to get into the system, and now we've got into the system where we understand the system, and they won't let us effectively eat in the system.
My only thing is, you have enough money now to take care of your family, take care of your parents. And so why
Yeah,
not sell some of that to take care of your family?
a couple of reasons. Number one, I joined this movement to stick it to the very people that have screwed us, really. And I'm not gonna. It's never been a consideration of me to sell until we've achieved that objective. It's not. If I sold all the money, right? If I sold all the shares and I took all the money, then what at the end of it? I'm just as bad as anyone else that's been doing what they've been doing for years, right? Watching a stock price get manipulated, take advantage of it, take the money out, and just let everyone else hold the back. If we're going to do this, it's very clear that I don't speak for all of WSB. No one singular person speaks for all of us. We are just a bunch of people on an internet forum trying to stick it to the man. And I'm not going to profit off those other people that have been seriously or more seriously affected by what happened than me. Because if I do it and it's all about the money and how much money I make and taking care of myself, how does that make me any different from the people who profited at 2008? It doesn't. I mean, so much to the point that 2 days ago, I rang my dad. I told him he hadn't really heard anything about it. I told him everything about the situation, and he himself went and bought more GME stock. And he sent me a message last night that after what happened yesterday, his resolve is hardened, and he's going to hold it too. And I see my coming out and supporting that have no idea in the stock market that are just buying these stocks because they can fundamentally see what's wrong. And to me, this is a movement. This is what happens when you take off the many to give to the few. The many get fed up and start fighting back.
Gravy Boat said you're the real Robin Hood.
I got that a lot over the last few days, but I think what people need to understand is this is not just me. This is hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who all feel similar to me. And like I said, I don't speak for one community. I speak for myself and my situation and what I'm doing and how I feel about it. And I've always lived with the thought process that you should help anyone that you could possibly help because you never know what situation someone is in. And at a time like this, where being stubborn and maybe being a little bit silly can help millions of people for a prolonged period of time, to me, is a no-brainer.
No, I hear you. I mean, it takes a lot of conviction not to do that. So you're going to own this stock forever.
Like the meme at the moment is 5K. I'm gonna hold it to 5K. My dad's gonna hold it to 5K. Me and my dad have both accepted that wherever this stock goes, even if it's down to the ground, we're gonna hold it because it's not about the money. It's about proving to people that we're not going to be messed with anymore.
Power to the people. That's what, enough of these guys, let's switch it around and make fuck you money for the rest of the world, like enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the crazy thing about this is for so long, those people were saying, if people that don't have loads of money start investing, then you'll do better for yourself and it's a good thing to do. Now all of those people are starting to invest, happens to be in the same company. We all happen to be well, and now they want to change the rules and say, well, you can't do that. Well, isn't that what you've been doing? The only difference now is the conversations aren't happening in mansions in the Hamptons; they're happening on online forums. It's the only thing that's fundamentally changed, and it's not the hedge funds making money. People that the hedge funds have been for decades who are making the money, and they don't like it.
The thing, Will, that the people do say, and this is the side that you probably have heard, GME falls back down, you lose your gains, and then, your efforts may not seem as warranted. I know you're making a point, and hopefully it doesn't fall back down, but that's the other side of it. But I get your point. It's about principle for you, is right?
Absolutely, it's all about principle. And like at the end of it, even if I took the profits, is that going to fix fundamentally what is wrong? No. And will I feel good about the whole situation afterwards? Like principle, but also in order to prove a point, we've got to prove to these people that we don't care about the money. That's what they are worried about. That's the only thing that drives them. So if we can prove to them that we can take the very thing away from them that they love so much, and to us it's just nothing. It's a fugazi. It doesn't even matter. It's nothing. It's not even on the elemental chart. Then they're scared because to us, like I don't know about anyone else, but I wouldn't have put any money that I wasn't willing to lose. So at the end of it, if I lose it all, I was only willing to lose it in the first. That's it.